Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you about user-defined types, data types in Golang. So I've been actually learning Kubernetes and I've been creating a lot of videos in Kubernetes, and you might be able to find a playlist on my YouTube channel. Uh, so I've been learning Kubernetes. So why Golang, right? So Golang is important because Kubernetes itself is written in Golang, and if you want to do advanced automation, advanced customization in Kubernetes, then Golang is the way to go. So I've learned a few things recently, so I thought I'll just start with those things. Um, I'm gonna make a series of videos uh, just to share what I'm learning in Golang as well, right? So, all right, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is user-defined types. So, I know I haven't created any basic tutorials on Golang. I thought it is kind of not necessary anymore. If you're used to any other language like Java, Python, then the basics are pretty much the same. Like, for example, like you can understand from this syntax that we are defining a variable called str string, and it is of string data type, and you can assign a value to this variable like this, just like any other language, and this is how you actually import packages. So format is a built-in package, and main.go file is the file that is like a main program in other languages, right? So it always starts with package main, and function main is the function that gets executed automatically. You don't have to call it explicitly, right? All right. So we're clear about this part. So now let's look at this, right? So you can actually define variables, without specifying the data type, explicitly. So you can see that I am just using a variable name and then a colon equal to followed by the string, right? So this is actually like an implicit declaration of this variable, and then I will run this in a few seconds. But that's another way to actually declare and use variables in Golang. Now coming to the user-defined types. So if you want to make your own data types or types, then you start with a keyword called type, and then you give it a name for that type. And there are a couple of ways actually you can uh, go from here. So one is actually, like I said, string over here. So I'm just creating my own type, but I'm just using an inbuilt or like a built-in type called string, right? So, and then I can define a variable called whatever. I'm using string2, um, and I am actually like using this user-defined type instead of the string type, right? So, so now I can actually assign string, any string to this variable, and then I can print it, right? So this is quite straightforward. But this doesn't make sense actually. Why would I create another user-defined type uh, just so I can define variables of string type, right? So that doesn't make sense, and I could just directly define it as a string, right? So that's why actually we have this next step, which is, so you basically have the same keyword and then the variable name or the user defined type name, um, and then followed by struct. So struct is an important concept in Golang, and then you have these um, curly braces, and you basically you can group a number of variables, right? For example, this is a student data type, and in this data type we have a collection of variables, and all these are related. As you can see, this I have student ID, which is integer integer data type. I have first name, which is a string data type, and then last name, which is again a string data type, and they are grouped together. And how can I use this data type, right? Let's say I define a variable called s1, and what is the type of this variable? It's student, right? So yeah, so this is a student data type variable. So how can I actually assign values to it? It's using this period or dot. So this is variable name dot and then the name of the variable which is inside the struct, right? And this is how I'm assigning values to it. And then I can use this again, this print statement from the format package, and then I can print the value of this variable, right? So, and similarly, with we can skip this variable declaration by using the semicolon and equal to directly, right? So this is called implicit variable declaration. By assigning values to it, to a variable directly using this colon equal to, we implicitly define a variable called s2, which is of student data type, right? So, and then we are printing the values of it, and we can access specific variables of this struct using dot like we saw before, right? So let's go ahead and run this, and as you can see here, it's running a command called go run main.go, and if you go all the way up, you can see this is printing the hello world string and hello world again, and this is Golang, and here we have a struct a data type called student, and then we are assigning a bunch of values to it, right? And then we are printing the values, and this is how it looks actually when you print a struct. It it is within these curly braces, and this is implicit variable declaration, and that is that, right? Finally, we can access specific values, uh, right? So I can do s2 dot student id or s2 dot first name. I can access specific values like this. Yep. So that's how you use structs. And I know this might be like reading from or drinking water from a fire hydrant. So, but I thought like we're all pretty much like at a level that level where you can skip the basics and go straight to a little um, moderate complexity straight away, because we should be able to understand basics from this program. All right, I hope it was useful. I'll continue posting videos like this. Do subscribe to my channel, and feel free to ask questions and whatnot. Thank you. Feel free to check out my other videos. Bye.